Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, coming to bring you some of that boom bap, trap, hip hop, all that soul, taking control of your airways right here with my crew. You know how we do. Let me start off with my brethren, the one them call Evan. And my sisterin, who's always living, Renee. If she ain't living, she must be dead, so I guess so. What's good?
Good morning.
God, man. What's up, y'all? What's up?
Evan is back, y'all. We can start the Remix Morning Show. You know what I'm saying? He got on his wig, probably because he ain't cut his hair. So you know
that is a post-vacation hat.
Yeah, you're not lying, man. You're not lying.
I know.
It was yesterday, and I was like, "Am I really gonna cut my hair? I'm not gonna cut my hair. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it."
Oh my goodness! You look nice. You look almost dark skinned as me, man. I think we both took a little trip out of the city.
I don't know.
Where is Kim?
Man, Kim, you talk about vacation. She is on a super vacation, but she said she'll be back. She just had to, and that's one of the things, I looked at when I did this thumbnail. I was like, we all need a mental health break somehow. If we can't afford to go out the country, we can't afford to go to another state, we need to just go in the closet and just turn off the lights and just get some time to ourselves and somewhere. I mean, down the street, staycation, something. You got to have some mental health break somehow. So
that's real.
You're right. Your doctor lectured me about this the other day because he was like, "You need to take some time, Renee." And I was like, "Okay, I'll figure it out."
Looking out for you, you gotta do your relaxation. You gotta do. I'm assuming you have a trip planned coming up, Renee, to relax and decompress and all of these things.
No.
No. I was just about to. I was like, so when's your vacation, Renee?
No, but I am gonna make some time to go see my mother, and that'll be because she's up. She's got a farm, and so
nice.
When I go up there, it's like
your mother.
I can just hang, and she still treats me like her baby. So she still cooks. She makes my coffee. It's like.
So, have you been in New York long enough to still put the V in mother and father? Mother and father. I love how New Yorkers say my mother, my father. You say that?
They do. I do not, but I think that's in part because I don't call her that. Like I call her my mom. And I call her mommy. Like I'm almost 50. I still call her mommy. So
you do the same, Evan?
No, I call my mom.
Yeah.
And then I call my partner's parents mama and baba. So it's like different for me.
So you got a little bit of culture on the other side over there, huh?
Got a little,
yeah, when I say her baba, that means a little culture somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know what baba means. Could you explain to them, Evan, what baba means?
Father.
That's right. It is. Yeah, you get to a certain age where for guys, we don't call out. I don't say mommy and daddy. We say pops, moms.
Yeah. I mean, is that us being captured in the fragile cage of masculinity? Is that what that is? Is that what we're resisting? I'm asking. I don't know.
Wow. I'll let you take that one, Renee.
Why am I taking it? What I gotta do with this?
She was very clear. She's like, mommy. I called her. Question was not the name.
Y'all
like,
not gonna get me
literally.
in this millennial trap today, y'all. No, Jack.
Oh my
You gonna
god.
be calling me no names? I ain't. I tell you, boy,
So,
boy.
Doctor, how was your weekend?
Oh, well. Let me tell you about my weekend. It was let me see. It started off well, it was good. I went out of town and I went to a place called Myrtle Beach, and it looked a little something like this. You know what I'm saying? I was walking around enjoying it, sandals off. My feet hit the ground, as you can see, mental health break, grounding, breathing, and things like that. So it was good. The thing is,
you have filmed that for you.
The thing is,
look, I know who.
it was not Zinzabel, y'all. But listen. Peace. But let me tell you, man, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, it looks like the capital of meth. You hear me? I mean, I have not seen so many white people with bad skin, no teeth, tattoos all over the place. It is a cesspool.
A cesspool.
Yo, I was like, damn. I was like, yo, you could real in mad. I don't know. I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but mad Asians owned everything. MAGA was deep. And I could see why perspective. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a white person and I'm like, yo, why they own everything? I ain't got nothing. I look around, all my people on meth and shit. I'm gonna be like, man, I want my country back. You know what I'm saying? I get the perspective of some people. You know what I'm saying? When you go and that's the thing about vacation and traveling, where you get to be there and get an understanding of how people look at the world. It was wild. But I needed
You know
that.
what's funny about that perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Is a palm-colored person with that perspective would look at a black person who is struggling and be like, and complain about white people and be like, well, race doesn't have anything to do with it, and you just need to work harder. So I find it fascinating that their point of view is that everybody else needs to work harder, but they should just have it all and be good. And it's everybody else's fault that they don't have anything. It's such a warped sense of entitlement. It is warped.
Because you know what? We're prisoners of war. White people won the war.
No, they didn't. If they won the war, they wouldn't be doing what they doing.
No, Jack. They running the country. So what I'm saying is we're prisoners of war over here since slavery, all that. They won. So now that the fact that the people that lost is like, we want rights, we want this, we want that, we want reparations. We beat y'all fair and square. Why y'all think that y'all could come in and get all this stuff?
So here's the thing. But here's the thing, though.
I see Evan is like,
the thing. No, he's not. Here's the thing, right? If they'd actually won the war, we'd still be slaves and we wouldn't be here, boo. They didn't win the war. That's the problem. So ever since they lost that, it's been a constant push to try and pull back to that era. That they didn't win. They didn't win. No.
Well, I'll let Evan go on that one because I can. We're not prisoners of war over here. We could just leave at any time. We cannot pay taxes.
We are engaged in war, but everyone is engaged in war. This is full out blown. Everyone is engaged in war right now because the reason the white people you saw feel like that is because they are also engaged in their own class war.
Yeah,
we're all engaged in war.
But
I thought you were gonna let Evan talk.
Go ahead, Evan.
I would just say that it's it's dialectical. Like the war is ongoing, right? Like our people are continuing to struggle, continuing to force the state to like respond in different ways, right? So they would not say, first off, the white people that you saw are not the people that won anything.
Oh, I mean, no, they're serfs.
Right. So but I will say, like, you know, the ruling class, like the class of white people that you're thinking about, right? I don't even think they don't think that they won. Like they don't feel like they're in a place of like security, right? They're constantly trying to figure out, right, how to triangulate, how to, you know, take more, you know, from us, right? Or prevent. They're constantly worried about the pitchforks coming out, right? They're constantly worried about that. So I don't think they think that they've, you know, won. When thinking about winning is like the place of like the conflict is over and I have complete stability and I don't have to worry anymore. I don't think they think they're there, right? So you know, I wouldn't say that, but you know, we can still be prisoners of war. Like those things are not in contradiction, you know. If we're like if it is ongoing, you know, if our people were captured and brought here, right? But the struggle continues, you know what I mean? So yeah.
I was just thinking, if I'm doing somebody else's culture, somebody else's language, somebody else's blah, 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 then I would think that, you know, they might have had the upper hand. That means they might have won a little something. But how was your vacation, Evan?
My vacation was great, your doctor. You know, it was nice. It was nice to unplug, to not be in this particular country, particularly for that what they called a celebration, but would look like a shit show from where I was sitting. You know,
and you went to or something like that. If you don't want to tell,
I was someplace else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with friends and family.
Abroad or close?
Abroad.
Nice. You do anything?
Yeah, man, I hung out. It was nice. I ate food, you know, chill, went to the beach. It was cool. It's cool. Listen to some music.
What you listen to?
You know, little Afro beats, you know. That's all.
That's new reggae. That's what Afro beats is. New reggae.
Can I just tell y'all that? Listen, Evan listed like 3 or 4 people that he listened to, and I had no idea who any of those people were. I decided to wait until now to say it just so I could make Evan laugh. But he said every word, and I was like, I don't even know if I counted that right. I don't know if all those names, like I don't know which names are associated, like with what.
Renee got the.
Sometimes I feel so. I do. Sometimes
got the old Negro ears.
Renee's face had me fooled because it was just like she has that, like, just listening to their, you know, their child, their nephew, you know, just like, yeah, sure, go ahead, yeah. I'm so glad you had a good time. You know,
if you ain't talking Cuddy ranks and Shabba ranks and Super Cat, Renee's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
After the 90s, she was like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. It actually is bad, but I just can't. I just can't. So.
Oh man, what? Somebody said ear doctor's wrong? Oh, you got to be kidding me.
That's such a broad scope to be wrong on.
Oh my goodness, me? Oh my goodness, unbelievable! I can't believe it. But Renee, you was good. Did we talk about you, Renee?
No, but we did. We had a good show on Saturday. Yeah. We had a good show. We were joined by Greg Levy.
You got it right, not Levy.
Got it. No, Levy. Okay. And although there seems to be an interesting historical thing because they've got family and the name is spelled differently, and they are Levy, and he is Levy. And it's even spelled, so it's a very, so we'll have to have another conversation with him because he's got some very interesting stories. Interesting stories.
Both strains, but both legs of that family are here in the States.
Yes.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yes, fascinating. And so, but it was good. We had a good conversation, but he could only stay for an hour, and so we decided to open up the lines and let folks jump on and ask questions and chat and stuff, which I feel like every time we do that after it's done, I'm like, why don't we do that more? That's so much fun when we let people just come on and randomly talk and stuff. And then I forget. And then I do it. Then like months go by and then we decide to do it again. And I'm like, that's right. That was fun. We should do that more. So I had to I think I have to bake it into the calendar to actually do and maybe we'll do specific ones for Patreon folks and just do, and we'll see if anybody else from the channel can join, and we'll just do an AMA and just, but it was good. It was fun. Thank you, Chitty. So Chitty also jumped on, so I appreciate it. It was fun.
Chitty,
so
bang.
It was good. It was good stuff.
So what up? Go ahead.
No, I was saying I haven't caught up yet, Renee, so I look forward to listening to that show, but I do want to give you your props for your Fuck the Force show that y'all had. That was really dope, and I did enjoy that.
So much fun.
Shout out to Laura, shout out to Carlos, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that came through. That was a fun episode.
Yeah, that was dope. It was good. It was good stuff. So
all right. Well, we got some stuff to get to. We got a good week coming up, so make sure y'all tune in. We got some things going on in Georgia and South Carolina and stuff where we got a bunch of cops that's going to be on patrol, ready to pull you over due to them high-ass tickets. Everybody's driving maybe and not flying. Also, homelessness going on out here, especially in Georgia due to the FIFA games. So they pretty much tried to hide all the homeless people. And our boy Jigga Man sells out the Yankee Stadium 3 nights in a row. All right. So I guess it's time to get to our first break. Let's do that right here at no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Jeezy said I need a vacation. I hope y'all go and get y'all a vacation too. All right, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org. Let me go ahead and put that at the bottom of the screen so it can be seen. All right, go get you some merch to get fly. Let's start off with this weather because it's been pretty ugly right now. Well, here in Atlanta, got a high of only 80 degrees, and it's raining all day. DC, it's gonna be nice, hot, and sunny at a high of 92. Chicago, they got a high today of 87 degrees. Damn, everywhere hotter than Atlanta. It ain't hot Atlanta today. Houston, 79 degrees. Not too hot over there. How is it hotter up north than down south? It's crazy. Bahamas, Nassau. Big up to my bite. You know he is. Lorenzo, Zoe. My boy Zoe out here in Bahamas. They got a high of 89 degrees. That's how they say boy. Bye. Big up to what is it? Sudan. Port Sudan. They got a high today of 99 degrees. Now that I must say is hot. But I'll tell you what else is hot. If you come out tonight to this comedy show where your boy gonna be DJing. If you in the Atlanta area, in the Riverdale area, you know what I'm saying? You want to come out to a comedy show that's gonna be good, free, come on out. Yes, filling me up with laughter. My homegirl, Michelle C. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show.
Yo, that was the other thing I forgot to mention that I was happy I was not in the country for. That heat wave that y'all had. It was how I was, but it was not. It was still under 100 degrees, and it looked bad. It was bad.
It was awful.
Yeah,
it was awful.
I also wanted to shout out brother Jamil, because he was killing me with this. Looked in the back of the classroom.
Brother Jamil was the first one to put a sign in the chat, so he came early.
He came early and probably walked away from the computer and lost track of time.
He literally was the first person. Yeah.
Yo, but big up to brother Jamil. He's on another one of my homeboys' podcasts I see coming up. It's another good brother that's doing things here in Atlanta. So yeah, brother Jamil outside.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. And then this comment from David Barnes cracked me up as well. It'd be nice to see Evan and Carlos talk anime and MMA someday. A brother can dream. LOL. I'm dreaming too, David. One day we'll do it. We'll make it happen.
I am still watching Hero Academy. Whatever.
My Hero Academia. Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
Still. I think we're on we're at the end of season 2.
Season 2.
So
Okay, so he's
so it's the Stain guy, the hero killer.
Yeah.
With the interesting backstory.
Yes.
So that's where we're at now.
He's a very interesting character.
He's pretty interesting.
Evan and David, the nerd off.
We get reverb for that.
Well, what's the name doesn't have the powers that what's the name has, and when he throws out
I can feel.
I'll be there for it.
2 hours, bro.
I bet. Bro. You was probably had Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff too, didn't you?
No, I had Pokemon cards, but
okay. Let me stop.
But I had all the
my son just found some. He was like, "Mommy, I forgot I had these." He found something when he was cleaning his room. He found a box of cards and
Gabe. I was about to say
money.
Beyblades.
Would you say
we're gonna act like he didn't make
Beyblades? You know those Beyblades. I'm out.
Oh my god!
I can't. I just can't.
Anyways,
so real quick, if you don't mind, I want to start with an instant.
The fact that he would throw the satellite as if he wasn't part of this.
But also, like, I guess it kind of counts as news, but I was dying with laughter watching this the other day. And I probably should have used a better term than that, but I was cracking up. But it's so accurate. And I follow this kid, Matt X, on Instagram, and sometimes he's just so funny, but he's an anti-Zionist Jew, and his reels crack me up. But it says establishment Democrats every time a murderous psychopath dies. All right, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, sound.
Wait, sound. Hold on.
True that Representative Hitler and I didn't agree on everything, but behind his tough exterior was an artistic side that most people never got to see. Mourning the loss of my dear friend, the Grand Wizard of the KKK. While we may have had different styles in leadership, he was always willing to come to the negotiating table with a smile. Let me tell you something about the man who blew up brown children as a hobby. He was also a devoted husband. As a gay politician, I am praying for the family of the late senator who mandated conversion therapy camps across the country. Our differences were no secret, but 9 years ago at the World Economic Forum, he complimented my shirt. I know you might remember Representative Satan as the man who invented new forms of institutionalized torture, but to me, he was just my post-committee hearing drinking buddy. Now, it's true that Joseph McGenocide was a complicated and at times divisive man, but he loved his country, and his gardening skills were second to none. I am devastated to
1,000%. It's like the accuracy. I don't even know. I can't be sure that was all a joke. You know what I'm saying? I can't be sure that some of those weren't direct quotes. I can't be sure.
I know. I actually would not be shocked if they were, but it was like the way he just straight face. Like, I was like, oh, this is hysterical. Because this is what they do. This is what they do. So Lindsey Graham passes.
Is this true?
And listen, I'm not one to celebrate death, as everyone knows. I did make sure to notify everyone that I felt would be interested in the information. I will not be sending prayers out. And, so I just but then the onslaught of these people who have been, first of all, Lindsey Graham cheered on death and bragged about dropping nuclear weapons on people and wanted to flatten Gaza and thinks Palestinians aren't people, and praised how many people were killed during World War II. Like, this is not a person of whom we are like excited, like whatever. And so to see all these people now be like, oh, such a loss. And I'm like, what are we doing? But I came across that, and shout out to Matt. Like, I cackled so hard, and I watched it like 3 times because the whole like straight face thing. But that's literally what the Democrats have been doing. Like, not one person has been like, he was a shitty person, he didn't respect life, he didn't respect other people's cultures, he didn't respect other people's like nothing. So, you know, it is absurd.
I mean,
it is absurd.
It is absurd. It is, and Chittimaka. Is it Chittimaka?
She always says that she's not 100% sure, which is why I call her Chitty, just to make my life easy. So
we can make it easy. Kamala Harris made a public statement about Lindsey Graham. When people tell you who they are, believe them. I didn't even see that, but I'm not surprised at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the reason the joke is so funny is because like they were just doing this for Charlie Kirk,
right?
Let alone a representative. You know what I mean? So if you're out of your way for him, someone who did not hold political office, who, you know, none of this surprises me. None of this surprises me, and it's disgusting. And I'm just like, you can't, you know, like, why? I don't know, like, why can't people just be honest? You know?
Yeah.
Or I think you said this. There's always an option to not say anything.
Right. You know, that part. That exact part. They didn't have to say anything. Like, Amy Klobuchar posted a picture of her like smiling, and it's just,
come on, man.
I just don't I just don't understand. I don't understand. But this is what they do, and no one should be surprised. And as I've said multiple times, they're 2 cheeks of the same ass. And so these are the things that happen, right? They pop up and they praise each other when they pretend like they're fighting on screen, or whatever they're doing, or whatever statements they release. They all go out after and drink and hang out. They all get money from the same people. Like, these are the moments where people should be reminded that they are all working together. Period. Absolutely. They are all working together. And so, and I think what verifies this completely is that they decided to just put Lindsey Graham's sister in his place. They just assigned her the Senate seat. She's going to do it. She's never worked in politics. She's got no legal basis, no, like, nothing.
But she did attend the College of Charleston, where she earned her Bachelor of Science degree in sociology in 1989. So she did that.
Right.
And also, she's the commissioner for the South Carolina Commission of the Blind, a state agency that provides services to quote, empower individuals who are blind or low vision through vocational and independent living training. And not for nothing, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad you're helping someone, but throwing that in there to replace a person like this is just as if her or her brother.
And they did it so fast. Like, I was like, wait, what just happened?
Literally.
And so, you know, they'll use the claim that there's not enough time to, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, all right, but I just, this is some interesting decision making we got going here. And, you know, it's I saw a reel where someone was like, "This is why white people be so mad at DEI, right? Because they are very, very clear that when they get positions they haven't earned, don't have any right to have, none of those things, right? And they just assume that because they do it all the time, that that's what happens when everybody else gets a position. It's just some wild. It's just wild. His sister, they just like pluck somebody out of nowhere and said, this is who's going to do the job.
Yeah, it also I think it also drives home the point that like it's actually not about these people as individuals. You know what I mean? Like these are placeholders. They can easily switch in and out with their family members, with someone who agreed. Like the point is moving the ball for capital, right? Like that's the point, you know? So whatever they say about her, the point is she's going to play ball until the election, whether she runs or not. And like, she's going to help to continue all the things that, that he was working on. There's another article that I'll pull up later that kind of talks about all the stuff that he was involved in, right? So she'll just slide into place, and she doesn't need to, you know. I mean, who's the other one? Oh my gosh, the other one that might be close. Mitch McConnell, right? Like these people are clearly not intellectually there. I mean, they're barely, you know, kind of holding on, but like they're able to continue to hold these offices because like it's just about them going through the process of pushing the ball forward for capital, right? Doing what they need to do for war, for empire. Like they're not representing anybody, you know what I mean? And it's just I think it elucidates, right? The fact that like this is not about these people's individuals or like, you know, what their particular positions are. It's just about them serving capital, and people can be moved into these slots, moved in and out.
Right. And I understand, y'all, that this is what they do. I'm pointing out that it's absurd what they do. I'm clear. Like, obviously, this is what they do because they did it. Right? Like, we recognize that this. I'm just simply pointing out the absurdity of it all. That's all. That, you know, like, you could be mad at me for pointing out the absurdity of it all, but I mean, this is what they do.
Can I point out something
someone
else?
did ask. Oh, go ahead.
ahead.
No. Well, just because someone asked this question, why couldn't a Supreme Court judge be appointed when Ginsburg died? Well, that's because the Democratic president decided he wasn't going to pursue the seat that he actually was legally able to pursue. That's why. So, yeah, there's that.
Yep. I mean, yeah. let me read a little bit of this just so we can get the facts out. But this quote I thought was also ridiculous. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster on Monday appointed Darlene Graham Nordone, the sister of Senator Lindsey Graham, to serve the rest of the late Republican senator's term, which ends in early January. Quote, today under the law, it's my duty and honor to name someone to serve in the place of this irresistible man. I'm going to stop it right there because
Wait, irresistible? That's not
irresistible. Am I reading this wrong? Like, I think I was just like, of all the, even on their side, you know what I mean? Even if I did have their politics, of all the words I could use to describe someone, irresistible is not anywhere near the top of the list. I just thought that was hilarious. He's irresistible. This irresistible man, this irreplaceable man, this extraordinary man for the remainder of his term. McMaster, a Republican, said at the news conference alongside Graham's sister. Lindsey took care of his little sister in years long departed. It's my honor to ask his little sister, Darlene Graham, to finish his work for him now. This is also the story that they're running, which I think is also just, it's just like, you just need a story to go on. So, you know, apparently Graham adopted her when she was 13 because their parents died like one after the other when she was 13 because he was 20. So he legally adopted her and took care of her and all this stuff. And like, that is like the storyline that they're running, you know, to evoke empathy and sympathy from people, right? Pretending as if this man's entire career wasn't the degradation of human beings, you know, and like the most marginalized people that he could that he could have, that he could victimize. But this is the story that they want to tell, right? About his sister. And Graham Nordon will finish her brother's 6-year term, which ends January 3rd. The senator died Saturday at age 71 of what was preliminary diagnosis of rupture of his aorta due to hardening of his arteries, his office said on Sunday. And I just want to stop and sit there. That sounds like it really hurt.
Popcorn, because just want to say that there's a lot missing from this storyline, because he was also in Ukraine the day before, and there was bombs and stuff that was going on that I feel like didn't come out, didn't happen properly. And someone checked me in the chat, and I apologize, y'all. Ginsburg died after it was Scalia who died during Obama. Scalia who died during Obama, who he decided not to force a replacement for. And then people were mad because Ginsburg was clearly sick. And then she died, and they allowed Trump to push through. I think it was Comey Barrett at that time. One of these people that he pushed through. I apologize for misspeaking. I just remembered that one of these fools bid it during Obama's candidacy, and I just had the wrong name in my mind. So apologies for the misinformation.
Yeah, no worries. But I think the point still, the point does still stand that Democrats have facilitated all of this. What were you saying? Just his aorta ruptured, and that sounds like it really hurt. And that's all I wanted to highlight about that. What else? Apparently, Senator Tim Scott, who's also Republican, people were campaigning for his sister for some reason. So I'm like, there were definitely meetings behind the scenes, again, just checking to make sure, like, yo, are you gonna push these balls forward? Like, are you gonna continue to play ball? And it was a yes, and that there it is. Graham spoke about his close relationship with his younger sister, whom he legally adopted after she was orphaned at age 13 when their father died of a heart attack. Their mother had died only 15 months earlier of Hodgkin's lymphoma when Graham was 20. Don't you hate to see terrible things happen to terrible people? What else is there? I don't think there's anything else from this that I want to highlight.
It's just.
The other point is that several possible candidates can enter the race, right? So it's absolutely gonna
Has South Carolina had its primaries yet?
I think he participated in the primaries. Yes, I'm pretty sure that he participated in the primaries. So he was already running for another term.
Right. I just didn't know.
Pretty sure.
I didn't know if that had happened already. Let me see, primaries.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. I'm pretty sure it was mentioned in here.
It just happened too. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was Graham, and I know we have another article in here about him because there was a bunch about the stuff that he was working on that I wanted to highlight. Because I do think this is the more interesting piece, right? How they're gonna slot his sister in and just continue to move this stuff forward. See. Okay.
I gotta stop reading the chat because I'm getting irritated.
No.
Just like I get it. You have an opinion, right? I get it. Like, I think if anything, we've seen that our governmental structure is set up of such that when the person who is the president, who doesn't really have that much power, but really just has to play along with whatever is going on in the moment, decides they want to do something, it gets done because that's how the game is played. So this whole Obama couldn't do anything. Please stop. Just stop. Stop.
We're still doing that?
I gotta stop reading the chat. I gotta stop reading the chat today because there's somebody in there who has a lot of opinions, and I get it. They're not 100%. He didn't have Congress. And so that was the excuse he was able to use for why he didn't push somebody through. It gave him it gave him an excuse to use, but it's bullshit. All of this stuff is bullshit. They are all working together, right? And this is what they do. It's the same reason that when he had full supermajority, he didn't do anything. Why? Because he had to work with the people across the aisle. That's literally what he said. So can we please, you love Obama, you want to apologize, the apologies, he wasn't such a bad guy, whatever. You're heard. There you go. Sorry. Go ahead, Evan.
No. This is completely fine, and I think this flows into what we were going to talk about. First off, Obama just recently was talking about how the fact that George Washington was a slave owner doesn't like negate his greatness, and like the like he can struggle with that, and it he can still be a great person. So I'm like, Obama continues to express in so many ways his allegiance to white supremacy, to white capital, to empire, you know what I mean? And it's wild to me that even now we would do anything to kind of like, I don't know, take blame from him, right? Like it's just so clear that he's been coasting for such a long time. And I think he got a little bit of blowback for that comment, right? Because I think I think people are just noticing, right? Like how he always comes out on the other side, or rather like the bad side of an issue. But I'm just like, you don't need to cape for him no more, right? Like he is making all of this money, he is completely like done his evil, you know what I mean? And is like being paid for it, represented by the Obama Center, right? So like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like Obama continues to show who he actually is and who he actually serves. But on that note, this article, Lindsey Graham's death will shake the Senate in the November election. Here's what comes next. There's a lot in this article, but I thought the interesting part was talking about like, it was like, how will his seat get filled, right? So this is like, to illustrate how quickly they chose his sister, this was still a question, you know what I mean, at this point, of like, who will fill the seat, what's going to happen. I still don't know who's going to replace him. It was a sister. But really, they still have this is not going to disrupt really the 53-47 majority. But really, what legislative issues might this affect, right? Like that was the piece I thought was interesting. Because that's the part that they care about, right? Like they don't care about each other and they don't care about him. There's like, how can we keep moving this stuff forward? So while Graham's death might not have an overall impact on the control of the Senate, he was a key player on major issues in the chamber. The Senate Budget Committee, which Graham chaired, was in the early phases of working through a complicated budget reconciliation process to try to muscle through parts of Trump's voter ID bill. I'm assuming she just takes all of his appointments if she's stepping into his seat. So I'm sure she'll just continue to move this forward. GOP lawmakers had hoped to work quickly to satisfy the president's demands, which have caused major roadblocks to their agenda on Capitol Hill. Frustrated that the Save America Act does not have the votes to clear the Senate's 60-vote threshold, Trump has pushed lawmakers to eliminate the filibuster and refuse to sign other bipartisan housing legislation in protest that became law anyway, right? So like that law became law anyway. But what I thought was interesting was how much bipartisan came up in this article, right? So the Senate also set to consider a request from the White House for additional defense funding amid the Iran war. Graham would have been an outspoken advocate for the measure, which faces a difficult path in Congress as it could require a bipartisan vote to pass under Senate rules. They'll get it, right? Democrats are going to agree with this. Just days before his death, Graham celebrated a major victory for his bipartisan push to impose crippling tariffs on countries that import Russian oil and energy sources. Like, I think when you go into his career, not only does it highlight his, despicableness, right? But like how much he was working across the aisle. And this goes back to the way that he's going to be eulogized.
Yeah. And that's why you have all of this happening now. All these people like, oh.
Yes.
Because in the end, again, two cheeks, same ass. They're all working towards the same goal. It has nothing to do with people.
Yes.
So, right.
So going from one horrible, well, now deceased, so no longer old, but one horrible person to another, I thought we could talk about this fool, old Mitchie. He's also not doing so well. Let me see. Here we go. You see this one, Renee?
Yes. And people, when I tell you, people are all over this thing and like just eking out all the reasons for why this picture makes zero sense, including like, I don't know about y'all if you've ever been in a hospital, right? Like, is he supposed to be in the hospital or at home in this picture?
Oh, Oh, this is definitely in the hospital.
Okay, so just for the record, y'all, just for the record, just scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell says absence due to fall and pneumonia. So
right. Just real quick, look at this picture. I just want people to be very, very clear. When you are in a hospital, this is not how you are not wearing like your tablecloth shirt, right? Like that's not like that's why I'm like, is he supposed to be?
Rich people don't go to the doctors. Doctors come to the rich people.
So he was in the hospital. I think then he moved to hospice care, right, or rehabilitation care. So this might be in the rehabilitation care. I'm not sure. But what's actually funny about this picture, we're not even at the funny part. There's multiple funny things about this picture. So we go dig into each one of them point by point. But first off, U.S. Senator
Joker smile.
Oh, first off, can I just say that it might be me. I could be the problem, but does Mitch McConnell resemble anyone to you? Like when you see his face, like does a face like pop out in your head of like he looks like this person?
The Crypt Keeper.
Crypt Keeper, that's a good one.
I'm seeing. You remember the Muppet Beep, the one that beat
Beaker.
Beaker, yes, Beaker.
maybe it's Beaker. Okay, wait, hold on one sec. Muppets. We gotta. This is for science, y'all. We need to be sure. Okay, wait. So maybe one of these two. Let me see. Oh shit, this type of stuff. Yeah, one of these two guys. Is that what you're saying? With the one.
Yes, Beaker, the one with the hair. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you who he reminds me of. I don't know if y'all saw this movie, but Mason Verger from the Hannibal film. This is who he looks like to me. This is who I see every time I see him. I don't know. Some people say he looks like a Virgil from Hannibal. Yes, thank you. Yeah, he looks like a turtle shirt. This is who he looks like to me every time I see his face. And I just had to share that because I don't know if I was the only one. All right, moving on. So, U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell says he will not be returning to the Senate quite yet after suffering from a fall and a mild case of pneumonia. Is pneumonia ever a mild case? Anyway, it can be mild. I don't know. I'm just wishful thinking over here. I'm sorry. It is the first statement from the 84-year-old Kentucky Republican after weeks of speculation about his health, following his admission to the hospital in mid-June. A photo was released by his office in addition to the statement, which shows Mitch McConnell with his wife, former Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, holding what appeared to be Sunday's Washington Post newspaper. That's a proof of life picture. When you're like taking a picture of yourself, you're like, here's today's paper.
Except on Instagram right now, people are showing that picture is not from this Sunday, that they found like whatever paper it's from, and it's not actually. That's but again, this is like, I'm not, just so people are clear, I am not following this story close enough at all to give I don't actually care about this. I just think it's funny that people are on one. So they're picking apart every single part of the picture. And one of the things that they're saying is that the cat, like that the paper that's in this picture is not actually from this Sunday, which is hysterical.
Funny. That's funny. Hey, that's one of the many things, right? So we'll keep going. He said he was briefly unconscious after his fall and taken to the hospital, where he had submitted to every test they can think of to help figure out what caused this incident. First off, how does he know it was briefly? Do you know what I mean? Like you were asleep. I don't know. My doctors have confirmed that I didn't break any bones or suffer concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages, he said. Great. Addressing his wildly speculated about absence, McConnell said, folks of my generation often hesitate to share the vulnerability that comes with growing older. Maybe you should retire. You know? Like maybe you shouldn't be in.
I just want to remind you, though, that this is the same body that literally wheeled a woman out in a wheelchair to vote for something, right? And so just saying, right? Like if there's any case at all for like elder abuse, I feel like Congress is a case study. Yeah, they wheeled that woman out in a wheelchair. So I'm just saying.
They don't care about each other. They just like that's what I'm saying. Like they just care about capital empire, right? So it's like, yo, get out there. And they think I'm sure they feel like, oh, I'm serving my country. I'm gonna do it until I'll die pressing this button or whatever. You know what I mean? But like it's just so obvious that they don't care about human beings or each other in general or specifically each other.
Right.
Apparently he also references childhood polio. I didn't know he had polio. That's interesting. And the ongoing mobility challenges he faces as a result, saying they haven't exactly gotten easier to manage with age. And last month I took a fall, which landed me in the hospital. Never cared less about hearing about polio. Apparently he tracked it at age 2, which left a portion of his left leg paralyzed. That's, advanced karma, I guess. What do you say? What do you call pre-karma? He's been moved from hospital care to rehabilitation center, according to the statement. That's why I was like, that picture maybe like that could be a real rehabilitation center. I don't know. He's like, as much as it frustrates me, this process takes time, and on the advice of my doctors, I won't be able to return to the Senate floor to vote quite yet. Even in the public eye, I feel that same instinct. I can't help it. The release of a photo of McConnell and with his wife Elaine Chao, who served as transportation secretary during Donald Trump's first term, comes after she was criticized for traveling to China when her husband was unwell. This is the other piece that I thought was hilarious. Also, this picture, right? Like this is like he can't even get there by himself, right? But the Chinese government has confirmed that Chao met Chinese Vice President Han Zheng in Beijing on June 17th. 3 days after McConnell was admitted to the hospital. A spokesperson from Chao told BBC earlier this week that McConnell's health did not warrant an immediate return.
She was like, I ain't flying back for that shit.
He's fine. Take care of business. Did not warrant an immediate return is hilarious. And then to come back and then take this picture. I don't know, man. Marriage full of love, exactly. That is rough, man. Call for information.
Ear doctor, will you be sending out pictures and stuff when just to proof of life as you progress along in these years? Kind of like how you share videos and stuff when you travel and everything.
Man, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be like, y'all gonna have to find me. I'm gonna be like Carmen Sandiego. You're gonna be like Waldo. What is his name? Find me in the picture. But yeah,
you're not gonna drop a mixtape and be like, "Where's Waldo?"
Yeah, man. Are we done with this dude?
Yeah, it was just the whole thing. There's just so much nonsense happening in our own like governmental structure that just shows how truly absurd the whole structure actually is. That you can have some, because even so there was also New Jersey, I think he's a House rep. I don't think he's not a senator, he's a House rep, who like just disappeared. And I think he was in rehab for like 2 months. He wasn't voting. He wasn't doing anything. People were like, where is this dude? So this is literally, this is y'all's government at work.
Well, speaking of
that so fast.
Speaking of parasites. We got a parasite going on right here. Michigan says diarrhea outbreak may be linked to lettuce, salad greens as cases rise above 3,000. Wow. Outbreak of diarrhea caused by a parasite. I'll let you read that one. Has risen to more than 3,000 cases in Michigan and Ohio, and ongoing investigation suggests lettuce or salad greens may be the source. However, Michigan health officials say other foods can't be ruled out. No specific type, grower, or supplier has been identified as the source. Man,
So
we just yeah.
this goes back to the
Yeah.
removal of rules. So
Mm.
as things got peeled back, that specific strain, I think it's actually pronounced Psychospora,
Yeah, sounds good.
Is when you don't wash your hands before you prepare food after you've used the bathroom. It's literally because there is like strains of feces like in the food. Like that's what causes that. And so if you wash your hands and you wash food, and this doesn't happen, but because there have been all these rolling back of regulations, and you got people who don't wash hands. And
We just had a farmer on letting us know also how to make sure we can grow our own greens. And if you can't, I get it. Other than that, I mean, shit. Try to buy organic if you can. Buy from a local farmer. I don't even know what to say. But I had a little. I wouldn't say I'm bougie, but I am bougie when it comes to food. I was in Carolina, and I got me and my camera holder. We got nice and dressed up, and went to where we thought we could go nice and dressed up to. It was a little food place. Went inside, turned the corner, and seen it was a buffet, and walked right out. Am I bougie for not going to buffets? I mean, I just don't like the feel of people standing over food. A bunch of people just putting food back, putting it on their plate, and talk about parasites.
So I am not a big buffet person, but there are times in desperation where I will eat the pre-cooked food from Whole Foods because I'm really hungry, and so I'll pull together, and it's actually literally the same thing. So I have to remind myself, like, you can't pretend like you are so bougie that you don't do buffets, because that's literally what it is at Whole Foods. It's a buffet, and you pick whatever you want, and you put it in a container, and you walk the fuck out with it. And so I'm just saying. I don't like restaurants that are buffets. I agree. I'm not a big fan of that scenario, but I also don't want to play myself and pretend like I don't eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a point there. I ain't been to Whole Foods and got something from there in a minute, but yeah, I mean, it was nowhere. My people told me, he's like, you might want to take your watch off around here.
Ooh.
I'll tell you.
That's a different kind of warning. If I got to take off my watch, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be here. Like, maybe we should go someplace else.
I was like, wow, ain't nowhere classy in this goddamn town.
I have to rearrange my outfit. Yeah. Historically, I mean, like, real working class, saying family, like, I've been to buffets. I used to hate it as a kid, and then I appreciated it more as I got older, and it was like, I can eat more food.
Just be gluttonous. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I was growing. Anyway. But I will say post-pandemic, it's a no-go for me. Like, but that's a lot of stuff. And I think maybe I'll be honest, like the pandemic for me just heightened up, like made me think about like, oh, this is so deeply unsanitary. Like I need to not do this. But there's a lot of stuff that fell into that category for me. Buffets were one of them. But I am, was that? I don't know. Are we saying any food out that people are going to go come pick up is a buffet? Is that what we're saying? Because I feel like that.
I mean,
Negro, you know what a buffet is.
If the food is out, and you are going across and picking up your choice of whatever is available, it's a buffet. Like that's literally what a buffet is, right?
Let me chill because I was just eating a buffet on vacation at the hotel.
It's a human trough. See? It's a human trough.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? Hotels. You know what? That's a good point. I hadn't even. That's a good point.
If you're not
they got the free breakfast, and it's a buffet.
If you're not in the egg line, you're eating the buffet, and the egg line is the hack. Like if you're ever, I don't know, across the board. I feel like in college and also at hotel breakfast, the egg line is clutch, but everything else, yes, is the buffet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a buffet. Yeah.
Yum.
And I don't want to fault. And then it's art with words. This is true, right? I got pushback on the post-pandemic statement. There's a lot of things out there. So I didn't mean like post-pandemic. I meant like, I should say since COVID. I should have said that.
Reopening, post reopening.
Yeah.
Post reopening. There you go.
Niggas is nasty. All right. Let's go ahead and take another
That's
break.
one way to put it.
I'm real far from hip hop. Why vote Republican if you black? Why build more jails, less schools, cause we under attack? Why keep the 4 pound in the air? The revolution will not be televised. Get around here. Why keep my rightness in the sky? I let them know that we gon' make it, don't plan out your minds. Why you gotta teach your kids on your own? Cause when you get in the zone, they bringing you in, you both getting cloned. Why we still gotta pray to Allah? Hip hop versus the new world order, they playing this hard. Why rappers get protection? Why the country ain't flip when they jerk the votes the last election? Why I die for all my beliefs? I gotta look at my kids, I'd rather smile and cry when they sleep.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you to the remix on the remix show. That is Jada Kiss's album Kiss of Death, remixed with Styles P, Common, bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? Came out in about 2004. Featured also Anthony Hamilton on that track called Why. All right, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage as rare, and donate where? At blokliberationmedia.org. All right, with that said, let's get back to it. Go ahead and get you something fly. It's about summertime. Get you a nice t-shirt over there, over in the merch section. All right, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Wonder Show. Yo.
Nice. I
All
realized.
right.
Okay, there's one more comment.
Oh boy.
Anyone that's worked in a restaurant knows nothing is truly safe. And I think everyone I know who's worked in a restaurant has told me that.
And as someone who worked in a restaurant, that is 100% correct.
So now I'm like, is this buffet thing just a false distinction? You know what I mean? Like, are we just playing ourselves?
I just don't like a bunch of people breathing over my food.
So the difference is, in a restaurant, the food is actually like just prepared, at least just prepared for you. So there's a ton of stuff in the restaurant that's always going to be questionable, right?
Fair.
But the food's not just kind of sitting out like with all the other things that are happening. So that's really what the differential is. But I mean, I'm just not going to pretend like I don't eat at buffet. Like I do because sometimes it's the easiest thing to roll to Whole Foods and pull together some stuff. If I'm at a hotel and the breakfast is free.
Ooh, and they got that vegan mac and cheese. They got that vegan cheese over there, Renee.
I am right. I'm that's what I'm doing. And so
I don't care how early I had to get up for. If there's free breakfast, I will get up early and I will go back to sleep.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and my little one is a big fan of, a lot of these hotels, they have like the waffle maker.
Oh yeah.
You can do your own waffles. Some of them have that pancake machine that like does the pancakes on the conveyor belt. So it's gonna be what it is, man. I can't. I can't. And to be frank, like no one knows the amount of foods that get recalled. No one knows, like, is this people who are buying food at, like buying a certain brand of food. And then there's also, not for nothing, you have all this stuff happening around the places that actually grow the food. So one of the things I remember that happened, I can't even remember what outbreak it was a while back. And what it turned out to be was there was like a cattle farm that was too close to where they were growing the lettuce. And so like, look, we live in a place, y'all, where they do not care about your health and safety.
There you go.
Period.
They make money off of it.
Exactly. So there is no work to actually have a healthy society. That's not the goal. So all of these things are part of the problem. right? That it's all part of the problem, because we live in a place where our physical health and well-being is not the priority.
Precisely. And that was the comment. That was the point I just want to come back to, right? Like, this is all because of capitalism, right? Like, because that it's cheaper, it allows for someone to make more profit if they get rid of this type of regulation, if they don't have to worry about the federal government and their business, right? And it's they're working together, right? So I'm pretty sure these were a result of the Doge cuts that got rid of people who were like tracking for this particular type of outbreak. But at the end of the day, right, it's the fact that the priority is capital and the priority is profit, right? Growing their capital, and like not your health and safety, none of that, right? So when you're in a system where profit is the goal and is the really only priority, these things will continue to happen, right? And it's not about one particular it's not about one particular instance or one particular outbreak or one particular administration. Even it is about an entire political economy built around profit.
Mm-hmm. And big up the brother Jamil. Taking clean and safe food is a key element of how to eat to live. Let's take our mouths out of the devil's kitchen. I got to, let my daughter listen to Karis One's album Edutainment, and he has a song in there called Beef, and he's just breaking down on what they do to the cow, how they make money off of it and everything. And listen, y'all got to realize that this food, FDA, food and drug, these are drugs that they're putting in these foods that's addicting us. So sometimes we gotta, I know a lot of y'all say don't fast, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you gotta just clear that shit up out your body, get a colonic, something, and start doing better. We can control ourselves. We might not control the politics and everything going on in the world, but there's some things we can control. You just gotta be disciplined.
Yes, and
here we go.
We have access to what we have access to, right? I can exert personal control, but if I live in a food apartheid or a food desert, or whatever you want to call it, a place that has been disinvested in by capital, that has no grocery stores. I have gone to grocery stores in the past trying to find a fucking red onion and grab them and had them disintegrate in my hand, rotten, in the grocery store. So just want to, yes, we can take personal responsibility for certain elements of our diet and do what we can, absolutely. But these are not personal issues, and they don't emanate from individual choices or effort. Like, it's the same thing when we talk about financial literacy, all this stuff. Sure, you can do some things to, maybe balance your budget depending on how much money you have. Sure, but the broader ecosystem, the broader situation is the reason why you're in that situation. Or rather, it is to say that in the same way that individual choices are not the reason Black people are poor, individual choices are not the reason Black people suffer from so many health conditions, right? We live in these polluted areas, right? Paka's ASPE just last week was talking about the ways in which, and I'll go into that a little bit later, but like, heat waves, right? The politics of heat waves, right? It's not just that it gets hot and we all experience that the same way. No, cities are built in a very particular way, right? Parks are constructed in a very particular way, right? So certain people have access to shade and, let's say, hospitals, and other people don't, right? So again, you make the best choices you can within the conditions you're presented with, but I do not ever want people to leave this particular platform with the idea that their personal decisions are the linchpin, are the deciding factor, because that would be incorrect and not true. Yeah, not true and incorrect.
I remember living in the hood, and before vegan was even a word, I was a vegetarian vegan. And I was in the hood, Simpson Road here in Atlanta. There wasn't a lot of places to eat, but I still didn't eat a lot of bullshit because I was disciplined, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So you have a choice. Sometimes
you make sometimes. I'm glad. There you go. You added the sometimes, and that's the part. That's the part of it right there, because you are like, you can really want to do better, but there may just be, like, if you're working 3 jobs and trying not to lose your roof, you may have difficulty maintaining growing things in your house, right? or if you live in a place where you are desperate to have a roof and you have no windows, because that does exist, right? Like, what are you growing with no windows, right? So there's literally like there are larger issues at hand, and the sometimes was all you needed to add, because that's really what the issue is, right? And this, again, back to systemically, we are set up to not be able to have the things that are going to be most beneficial to our well-being, right? This is why fast food is cheaper, right? Like, that's literally,
and that's a whole nother thing. Like, right? It's easy to get a $1 sandwich.
Exactly. It's why fast food is cheaper, right? Because they want you to eat the stuff that's filled with all of those things. Like, that is the situation that is created by a system that is ruled on capitalism, which does not benefit from the health and well-being of its people. So
we also got to add the point that is drugs in these foods, and a lot of us are addicted. And you try to take it away
100%. Yeah.
We'll withdraw just like any other drug.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't have to make it so complicated. The worst drug is sugar.
I was just thinking that. Literally.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like drugs can sometimes obfuscate. You know what I mean? They're just pouring they pour a ton of sugar in everything that you eat. Things that you don't think sugar should be in. Sugar is in there, right? And it's not good for you. And there's a whole many other products that they put in that are not like good, but people are addicted to sugar, right? And you notice it. I mean, I noticed when I was just abroad, right? And like getting a soda, and like, oh wow, this tastes different. And like they just had less sugar in all of their drinks, right? Which didn't make them taste different, right? And I, whatever. But just the reminder when you go other places that the food is not packed with the same types of, sugar mainly, right? Is in these other places. But even like those types of things you don't.
Damn, Renee, what you fixing the motor over there?
My bad. I forgot. I forgot to make that coffee, and I was struggling. I was like, when's the break?
We just did do a break, didn't we?
We did, but I only had enough time to pour it. I didn't have enough time to get my cream. I started using honey per your suggestion,
and how it tastes all right?
It does. Yeah. It does.
I did that too. It does taste
bad. My bad. Yeah.
At first, I was like, honey, but then I was like, all right, I can fucks with it. All right, I think I've done enough.
We appreciate your contribution as always.
As always. And yes, Stephen, it is coffee time. It was coffee time like an hour ago, but I didn't. I had too much going on, and I didn't want to be late because I'm trying to log in at least 5 minutes before we start. Like, this is the new goal. And so I was like, okay, I can start my coffee and then just let it go. And then I had to come back to make it. There's no choice in this. So, but
you did it.
Thank you, Darren. Yes. Appreciate that. Appreciate the $10. And actually somebody else sent Grease. Shout out. Thank you for the $2. I'm not turtly enough for the Turtle Club.
Hilarious.
So, yeah.
Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to the chat as always. Please like, share, and subscribe. I don't think we said that this time. Thank you for being here as always, and contributing. Always excellent stuff from the chat.
Okay. All right, Arts with Words. I can't. Art says, with all these coffee and food suggestions, I almost want a new BLM show talking about all of this in terms of finances, and also to touch on what was said in the chat about fast food versus home cooking. So the person in the chat who commented on this missed my point, which is that fast food is cheaper than buying like a decent meal on the go, right? Home cooking is always cheaper.
Yeah.
But home cooking requires you being able to be at home to cook. It also requires you being able to go to a supermarket. It also requires you being able to actually have running appliances to keep your food fresh, all of those things. My point was, if you're on the street and you have limited funds, the thing that you're going to have the best access to with those limited funds is shitty fast food. That was my point. So I don't, I was trying not to, I wasn't trying to, I was trying actually, I'm trying not to. Your doctor told me to stay out the chat. And so I was.
You're doing great. Trying. You're doing great, Renee.
And Mani disagrees. She says, I disagree that home cooking is cheaper. And I think it depends, right? So at the grocery store, the food on the outside, which is the fresh food, right? That's what they always say. Like the further to the middle of the store you go, the more processed the foods get. That's why all the prepackaged, pre-made, everything is in the center of the grocery store. The fruits and vegetables are always on the edge. The breads are always on the edge. The baked good. Yeah. Look, Evan's like, oh shit, that's true.
It is.
It is.
You know,
every store.
I have my list, and I'm like,
yeah, every store is built the same way, and so the truth is, like, it's also the same within the grocery store, and it depends on, what kind of food is accessible to you at the store. Like, if you want to buy fresh fish, right? Expensive. The shitty fish is cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not even. This is not hyperbole. Like this is really.
This is what it is.
This is what it is. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like the prepackaged foods are always on sale. The cereals with all the sugars, those are always cheaper. Like, this is what's done. And it's literally part of the same system that has us unhealthy and dying, because that's what they make money off of. The money is off the treatment. There is no benefit to keeping a healthy population here because the money is off the treatment.
Yeah, definitely. Got to keep hospitals booked.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but because I leave the grocery store with 2 bags and I spent $40 or more, and I'll be like, God damn.
Yeah, grocery is expensive. It's
crazy. Especially when you try to eat healthy. God damn, everything healthier is more expensive than, like, because I even go to like the organic section when it comes to the produce, and it's $1 more, but I'm like, even the bananas is 10 cents more when you
but and for me it's worth it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I bite the bullet when I get to the register, and I cry in the car on the way home. Right. But I'm like, I'm hoping that I'm making the right decision in order to get this squared away so that my family eats healthier. And I do things like I make stew for my husband so that over the week he can just pack stew and take it with him to have lunch. And it's a pain to make. It takes a lot of time, but then there's a whole trough of stew that he can eat for the week. And I try when I make dinner, I make enough so that I can have lunch the next day with whatever's left over from dinner. Like, this is part of the process in the house. But I have a working spouse, right? We have a house, we have a kitchen, we have a fridge, we have, in fact, we have 2 fridges. We have, what I mean? Like, we have the space. We have the space.
You probably got a deep freezer, don't you?
We don't, but that's why we had the second fridge. When we bought the house, the second fridge was downstairs already. And so we kept it. And I would actually like to replace it with a fridge that has more freezer than it does fridge, because that would be actually more helpful. But whatever. But so this is the issue at hand. Like, it's a struggle, and me saying it's a struggle sounds absurd because I do it, right? Like, I manage, I figure it out. because that's what I have to do. But I also am not in a situation where I have to do something differently right now. Like, this was not always my life.
Yeah.
And I can remember very clearly eating like spaghetti and butter, right? Like literally, right? And so
struggle
this is
meals.
not right. So, you know, I don't say any of this without a clear understanding of what life could be like, but also being very clear. Like, people make commentary often about like, well, if Black people just saved more, and if they stopped eating out, and if they this, and if poor people did this, and no one ever looks at the top tier problem, which is that the system is set up for people to live exactly like this, like literally exactly like this.
All right, Brother Jamil, communal dining whenever possible with trusting, unified communities. That reminds me of a potluck, and I'm not too sure about potlucks neither. Maybe that's my bouginess coming out, bougie bomb time.
I think you're missing the trusting. And look, pull it back up.
Okay, yeah, right. Potlucks are not trusting.
Trusting and unified. And whenever I hear a critique about a potluck, it's because somebody that I don't trust and I'm not unified with brought something with ingredients.
They got cats on the counter cooking. Yeah, no potluck. You right.
just to be clear,
you got to be lucky to eat somebody else's food that you don't know.
But yeah, no, plus one, everything you said, Renee, fully agree. And yeah, like I think we need to, I appreciate you sharing your experience because it does highlight, right, how much effort it takes to, like, this not just this thing of like, oh yeah, you just cook, right? And like, even for myself, right, I live in a house, my partner and I both work, right? And like at the end of the day, we got to figure out what we're gonna, like, we could plan more, we could, you know, there are things that we could do to mitigate that to some degree, but groceries are still expensive, time is still limited, do you know what I mean? And we are privileged relatively, right, in the big scheme of things, right? So people, you know, we need to, I do think that the personal responsibility thing is something we have to get away from and get to more of a systemic analysis, because that's how we're going to get to like an answer, right? Like the answer is not shop around more and find healthier vegetables in your area and find things, like that's not the answer.
Right. Exactly. And I just want to point out that now that I know this person is literally not listening to me, I'm literally ignoring everything you write from this point on.
No, you're not. You are not.
I know I'm not, but I'm doing this on purpose. As expensive as beef is, you can make a beef stew. What the fuck did I just talk about, y'all? What did I just, like, literally, what did I just talk about? Making a stew for my husband. Yo. So now that I know you're not listening, bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. You know, I would prefer for us to highlight, Renee, all the kind people that we have in the chat.
There we go.
It's hard with words. Renee, I appreciate your time and consideration for my comment. Look at that. Look at that, Renee. Look at the kind of love you got in the chat.
You know what? I love Art though. Art be popping up sometimes, and he's just the nicest. He's just the nicest person.
The nicest person.
And the nicest person.
Justice for Art, because the ear doctor and Jared were unnecessarily cruel to this man when he came on the platform. You don't remember that, ear doctor? You don't remember
his room. I remember this.
It was atrocious.
Yo, I was watching that video and I was like, I cannot believe. I could see it on your doctor was waiting, was like itching, and I was like, yo, just let my man live. You know what I'm saying?
He had a suit on.
He put on a nice jacket for y'all, and y'all were justice for Art, man. That's what I got to say. Justice for Art.
Big up to Art.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Mohsen, if you could please send an email to info@, I'm gonna put it in the chat, because Mohsen is asking if we can in some way share a fundraiser. Mm-hmm. Which we have to look at it before we can share anything out. But if you send me the information, Mohsen, I will definitely take a look and see if there's something that we can do. But somebody did suggest that you reach out to Resistance is Futile, Benji, and they do often do fundraisers for different folks, as does I'm gonna forget his name. I think it's Ahmad. I'm sorry, y'all, but that would also be a good place. But if you could send the information to that info email, and then I will try my best to share it out to folks, so we can see if we can get some help for your family.
And I ain't gonna hold you on day two. After day two of stew, It's like Thanksgiving dinner. He's like, I don't want to eat.
You listen. I am not. I am not a stew person. Like I did a chicken stew because I was curious, like if I'd like it, and I did not love it. I ate it because I always eat what's in the fridge to make sure it doesn't go bad. But I don't. It's a struggle. I'm not a big fan. But my husband is a creature of habit. And so he will eat the same thing until he decides he wants something different, and then he'll just shift. So, you know, I don't, sorry, y'all. So, you know, I'm just saying, like, so we just gotta see. We just gotta see. But I try.
Oh, did Renee do? Renee told me not to do something, and she just. Renee.
Well, listen.
Did you see the pop up? I wasn't ready for it.
I'll unban it later, but I am not for like you being in the chat and chastising other people for being in the chat. Then just go. Like, there's literally a million different things on YouTube that you could go watch, right? So if you don't agree with me, you don't like what I'm saying, like, go watch somebody else. But then to be attacking other people in the chat, like, I can't even believe you still watching this shit. Okay, well, why are you here?
Hey, doctor, can I make a request that you get like a?
Oh, I love it.
Like it's not a drop because the drop is the audio, but I guess a visual drop, like a little video clip. Can you get the Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out the house? Can you get that? And we can just
I'll see if I can get that. She definitely just did that.
I did. But I will say also, I meant to just put a timeout, and you said this to me once, doctor. You got it. Yep. I was trying to do a timeout, and I'm not really sure like what happened. But I'm also not mad that that's what happened. I don't really care.
Like, I wasn't either. Oh my goodness! Look how the tides have turned, boy. I tell you.
But this is, as far as I know, that is not somebody who came in. Like, this is not somebody who's always here. And I don't even mind. Like, the same person checked me about Ginsburg because I had the wrong name in mind. I'm good with being checked if I'm incorrect on stuff. Like, I don't care. Like, it's fine. Yeah. But like, he's in the chat, like, Renee takes things personally. She's antagonistic. Blah, blah. Go fuck yourself. Like, what are you here for?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
No.
Try again next week. Oh my god, man! It was just seeing the bar pop up out of that. Kill me, man.
What?
It was the turning on someone else that really irritated me. Like, it's whatever. You think I'm antagonistic, you think I'm wrong, you think I'm an asshole, like, whatever. But to be in the chat, like, chastising other people for watching, you're literally here. So go do something else and that should help.
They did it over and over. Like,
he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
We got a video for that, though. Definitely got a video.
Hell yeah.
All right. We got any other stories?
There's a bunch of other stories.
Yes. Right,
there's a bunch of
Do I need to do a quick break and then we go? Y'all can dig up something?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. That sounds about right. All right. Let me go ahead and find a nice little tune to take us out.
Bro Jamil in the chat.
What do you say?
Don't make me come find you. Y'all don't want Bro Jamil coming to find you. I'll tell you that right now. I don't.
Yeah, he down with the NOI. He got peoples. All right, let's go take a quick break right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. I need a vacation. Yeah. What's good, everybody? Pick up a little bit of Peter Tosh in the background. Why must I cry? Yes, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com. Become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And yeah, you talk shit in the chat, we talking back. That's what it is. Let's talk about the Black Liberation Media and what shows you might have missed. We actually had Real Talk. I know you might not have seen that in a minute. Real Talk came back, and they was talking about vacations in different places. Well, they had talk about what was going over there in the Isle of Jamaica. Let's see what they was talking about with Dr. Sundiata and Michael West.
Walker talks about troubling the pages of history. That's how you put it. Trying to understand the condition that Black people is in. Right? His book is called Condition. Trying to understand the Black condition, and how do you do that? You do it by troubling, right? In Walker's language, troubling the pages of history. That's why historically the Black experience is so grounded in the study of the past, because that past has been used against us, you see. And so the challenge has always been to fashion a past that can be an ally.
All right. So yes, Real Talk, y'all. You can go and check that out. A little bit of echo problems for a second, but they got that cleared up. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to go back and listen to that show because they I was very curious about. I couldn't stay on that night, and they were having a little bit of a tech issue, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
I love our elders.
I do. And they just needed to mute when the other person was talking. It was a rough.
Oh, dang, that was an ongoing thing that was happening?
It was off and on because if you forgot to mute, then the echo happened. So you just had to remember to mute when the other person was talking. And so it was tricky, but
we can't, Renee, I saw your message. I didn't get to read this one, but we can go into the Black farmers and
yeah, I mean, we could just, because I didn't read the full article yet, but I think even just the fact that they had to give up the money might be interesting.
Let's do it. The only other thing I want to talk about is our ASP from last week and a new program we're launching for Paga. So
you want to do that first?
No, he wants to do it at the end of the show, like we always do.
I'll do it at the end of the show.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Leave Renee alone. Get out of here.
Oh, that was for you.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do the Black farmers win court case. Okay, I'll pull it up.
I just think, given what we were just talking about, that this is interesting. And last Thursday, we were joined by a brother that Air Doctor brought on,
Ross Kofi,
and he is a farmer in Georgia. And so we were actually talking about the difficulties in being a Black farmer and how these people and the back of the funds and everything. This is interesting.
Got it. Okay. Black farmers win court case that restores $127 million in federal grants. The decision reinstates funding for organizations that say the USDA cuts threaten jobs and community programs. Just for this context, people passed through the Charlotte Regional Farmers Market in Charlotte, North Carolina. A federal judge recently ordered the U.S. Department of USDA to reinstate blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I just want to give context for that picture. Black farmers like Sharon Mallory can finally get some relief after a judge ruled to restore millions of dollars in grants. Earlier this year, the Trump administration yanked the money away from organizations led by and in support of Black farmers. Mallory's organization, the 2020 Farmers Cooperative, promised to purchase equipment and land and provide food for their communities. They entered agreements with farmers, but the cooperative couldn't fulfill its obligations after the U.S. Department of Agriculture sent a letter stating the grant had been terminated in March. The department claimed the awards were, quote, discriminatory based on diversity, equity, inclusion, and wasteful spending, end quote. For Mallory, the pause on the land grants caused distrust and disruption to the cooperative's work. Some organizations had to reduce or lay off staff and programs and divert resources. Many farm operations may not be able to survive because of it. Quote, put it another way, the grant termination has undone 2020 Farmers Cooperative's long-term work in building trusting relationships, which led us to apply for the grant. And we must now find new ways to get back to where we were reputationally, Mallory said in the lawsuit. She and more than 24 organizations may be able to salvage what has been tarnished. In a June 30th order, U.S. District Judge Beryl A. Howell ruled that USDA and its employees must reinstate $127 million in awards and file a status report with the court on July 3rd by 5 p.m. The decision comes a month after 24 entities, including the 2020 Farmers Cooperative, joined an ongoing lawsuit challenging the USDA's decision to eliminate the program, which was meant to address historic land loss experienced by farmers of color. It was part of the former President Joe Biden's increasing land capital and market access program, which awarded $300 million to 50 projects. I'll just keep finish reading this piece. Quote, land access program plaintiffs have demonstrated that the terminations of their individual grants were likely contrary to statute, that they will suffer irreparable harm in the absence of relief, and that the balance of equities and public interest favor preliminary injunctive relief, Howell wrote in a separate opinion released on the same day. Thus, these grant terminations are preliminarily vacated. Interesting. Hannah Wolf, farm stand staff attorney and counsel for plaintiffs, said that this victory is for the people across the U.S. who are working to build fairer and more sustainable food systems. Though this order is in previously enjoining, quote, through this order and in previously enjoining other grants terminated by USDA and DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, the court has consistently recognized that USDA has an obligation to assist all farmers and ranchers, Wolf said in a statement. It cannot diminish services to certain farmers by invoking phrases like illegal DEI. This is interesting, but the way I'm interpreting this is that this is still preliminary, and the state could still appeal it.
Right, they could still, yeah.
District.
I'm also curious, as someone who doesn't really understand the monies here, right? Is $126 million for all the farmers a lot of money?
I mean,
like when you think about
no is the answer to your question. No.
Like I'm like machinery, workers, land maintenance, whatever you have to do to actually like produce the things that you're gonna sell. Like, yep. Is it a lot of money?
I mean, it's, I feel, it reads as considerable, right? 127 million to us, but I am curious. I'm literally on their
I'm like, how much does that work out per farmer who was supposed to get the grant? How much of the grant supposed to be? Like, this is the stuff that I always get curious about whenever I read these types of articles, because as everyone knows, I am fully distrustful of anything that comes out in media. And so when I see a headline that says like farmers win, right? And so now I'm like, did they really win?
Right.
Is this really a win? What did they win? And is what they won helpful for what they actually need in order for it to be the thing that they were seeking to be?
Right.
But black farmers don't just do this for black people. So it's like white people gonna buy their food from black farmers too. Ain't like they really know.
Well, wrong? I think the issue that, because this is what they did, right? Was you can't give stuff to people just because they're black. It doesn't matter if what they're doing is beneficial to the whole nation, right? It doesn't matter. So I don't know. I might have to look at this a little more. I'm curious now. I'm curious about what this win actually means.
Is it just because they like organized and was like, okay, we're the black farmers and we actually put something together and we're like, listen, we need. I don't know.
I mean, well, it says they joined a larger lawsuit. So I mean, first off, this organization, right? This farmers cooperative, right, seems to be. Obviously seems to be a collection of multiple different. I mean, it's a cooperative, it's multiple different people, but I don't know how it's structured. Seems like they're doing good and important work. But even then, like they were joined onto like another lawsuit. So I don't know I'm not sure how big and how many farms are implicated in that, which kind of goes to Renee's point about like, I don't know how many farms this $127 million is actually spread across to be fair. But at the end of the day, right, they don't have it back yet. Like this is still ongoing, and the government's going to continue to try and fight it. That was a district judge. They'll probably run it to the Supreme Court if they can. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We have to follow it. Keep following it.
And the other farmers are just mad because they didn't organize. Like, damn it.
Or maybe they were maybe there's some agreement struck. Like I just don't, like I said, I need to learn more. But somebody in the chat just suggested that we take a look at Blackbird Farming Cooperative. So I'm going to check that out and see what that's about. Because I'm curious. Y'all know how I get.
Because food is part of liberation, so we definitely gonna get into more about food and all the different ways for liberation, since it is Black Liberation Media.
We need control over all of it, so
right.
All right, where we at?
Listen, y'all know, Erica laced it. I don't know why you say that. Like, there's not gonna be 1,000.
Usually y'all are leading the. Usually y'all are leading the.
So I did have. I think we have time.
So while you're picking that up, big up to ZZ Lion Dad. I said Lion Dad. Lion Dad. $10. My opinion. Farmers are rich, black, white, etc. Black farmers working with a cooperative is suddenly different. Only rich people can take on a business in the red for years on out. I don't get it, y'all.
Wait, black, white, etc.
I think he meant subtly, like subtle,
okay.
Not suddenly. That would be my guess. That there's only a slight difference.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of cooperatives. They are helpful, right? A helpful structure. But again, not a solution, right? They're not a solution in of themselves. So I would not want to, again, regardless of like that good work, right? Like we need control over all of it. So I would just say that. But there was one more story that I did. I was curious about Renee's perspective, just as a parent. But this one. More Maryland kids are coming to school in pull-ups. Teachers are told to help. So this is a story just about
pull-ups.
Pull-ups, like as in pull-up diapers. What is going on? Hold on. I'm sorry, my fault. As in like their parents ain't potty training them. Precisely. Oh my God, why are you doing this? This is not happening.
I guess maybe. Yeah, I guess with that is shit. Parents ain't got time. I don't know. They working too damn much.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed this is happening. Can somebody else pull up this article without this stuff?
I don't know, but you got it, Renee. I don't need to do it. I can't. But I mean, shit. When do we have time? Anyway, Old Grease. Old Grease sending $20. I have nothing to say but have some cash. And ICYMI, my Turtle Club comment was a Mitch Connell joke. Ha ha.
Yeah, I caught that.
I caught it too.
Yeah, thank you for that joke.
Appreciate it.
All right, apologize. I'm gonna just have to read from my notes.
I think it's just the paywall. So
really what this is, a policy that takes effect this fall instructs teachers and staff who work with kids in pre-K and kindergarten to help them put on underwear, diapers, and pull-ups, sit on and get off the toilet or changing table, and cleanse afterward if they can't do it themselves. So
it's a lot of extra work for teachers.
Exactly. And we're gonna there's so many elements to this one, which I thought was just fascinating, but that's why I did want to get Renee's take on it. School board members say the guidance is necessary to formalize current practice and accommodate the growing number of children coming to school unable to use the bathroom independently. Teachers who oppose it say the responsibility is an undue burden and raises potential health risks. While the policy is unusual among Central Maryland school districts, educators and experts say it reflects a post-pandemic shift in parenting norms playing out locally and across the country. public schools can't turn children away, right? So like they're pointing out the fact that public schools are going to have to absorb all of these kids. Like they're not charter schools, they're not independent schools, so they can't pick and choose who they have those requirements. They have to take all these kids. So they're getting the lion's share of these children. The other point, while Anne Arundel instructs all teachers and school staff to pitch in, the work of wiping soiled bottoms will likely fall on support staff. So that's another element, right? It's like there's a what am I trying to say? Hierarchy, right, in the classroom, right? Teaching assistants and teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also the point that like really the TAs are the ones that are going to have to be doing this. There is a person, Tammy Cho, who was a longtime pre-K teacher's assistant, accepted a new position in her school's library this fall. Otherwise, she would have had substantial new responsibilities and no additional pay, as you just point out, Ear Doctor. Policy says staff are responsible for implementing strategies to, quote, to move students toward personal care and toileting independence. So that they're being tasked with like potty training these kids, not just like cleaning them up, but like actually potty training them. And more children are starting school in recent years without foundational skills. So it's not just potty training. They're not potty trained. They don't know how to use forks and spoons, how to take the cap off a glue stick, or how to safely cut paper with scissors. In a National Ed Week Research Center survey, more than 50% of educators said their students found potty training and independent toilet use more challenging than 2 years ago. And this is not, this is across the board. Like there's uneven kind of policies that are being put out. So not every part, right, of Maryland is requiring this particular level of involvement from the teachers, but all of them are kind of essentially encouraging teachers to help with this. There's also
well, what I'm getting out of this is, first of all, teachers need a raise. Second of all, everything is political when it comes to even this whole conversation, because some people work a lot. They don't even have time to come home and work on potty training. So they got to send their kids to school, go do 2 jobs, come back home, and not really have much time with them. Then you got teachers that has 40 students in one class, no teacher's aide, and they got to deal with all that and still try to teach. This shit is all a fucking joke.
Right. That's true. So there's all this, yeah.
No, you're good. So there's a lot happening in this. And part of it is, again, a systemic structure in which people feel obligated to go to work instead of being able to help their child maneuver these basic life skills that children need to have, right? So we live in a place where you can go to jail if you choose to abort your child, right? And be charged with all kinds of crimes. So you're forced perhaps to have a baby that you're not actually capable of raising, which leads to these situations. And the system just wants you to go back to work. So they're perfectly happy to allow you. Like, this is part of my concern with even like this free pre-K3, right? That everybody heralds is such a good idea, because now the kid, you can have somewhere to put your kid. But why are we forcing parents to not be helpful with the whole process of rearing their children to being able to do these baseline human things like wiping your own ass, right? And so someone in the chat mentioned paras. And so in public schools, you're not likely to have a TA doing these things. You're more likely to have a para educator doing it, which typically those jobs are reserved for people who are working in classrooms with students who have, extra emotional difficulties, actual physical limitations, that type of thing. So, but even those jobs are so poorly paid that the turnover is outrageous, right? So you have all of these things happening. None of it's happening like in a bubble. I stayed home with my son until he was 3. I went back to work after he turned 3. He did go to pre-K3, but him going into pre-K3, he was already reading, he knew his letters, he knew his numbers, he wiped his own ass, right? Like but that was because I stayed home with him for 3 years in order to assist with making sure that all of those things were put into place before I sent him out for someone else.
And that's the politics
to manage him, right?
Yeah.
So this to me is outrageous that you would expect a person who is supposed to be helping students with, learning these baseline things like reading and writing and putting together sentences and that type of thing. And instead you're putting them in a room that is likely too many kids already, doesn't have the appropriate resources, doesn't have a whole bunch of things that actually needs to happen. And now you're also asking them to wipe a child's ass because the parent has to go to work and doesn't have time to teach their children these baseline skills. This is wild.
Yeah. And the politics, like I was saying, of it is, I was blessed to have when I was married, I was blessed to be DJing and only had to do nighttime working. So I got to stay home with both of my kids when they was first around. So they, I ain't had to worry about none of that. They knew how to do everything. So they went out in the world like, let's go. But that was because I was able to do that. I also had a wife at the time that was bringing in money. So I was able to go ahead and do that. So everybody ain't able to do it. So fucked up situation.
Yeah. Absolutely. Everything y'all plus one, everything y'all said. And there are other elements, right, in the story, like the fact that these institutions that the kids are going to actually don't have changing tables. Like they're not actually equipped with the types of things you would need to be able to change these students. So some of these teachers are talking about trying to like change a student who has to just stand up or has to maybe like put a towel in the bathroom and they have to lay down. And they talk about trying to do that with like preserving a sense of dignity for the student, which I appreciated, but like, and how hard that is, right? How hard that is to do.
Right. And you have to do it in the classroom, right? Because if you're one teacher and you have one class and a kid needs help with this, you can't leave your other 20, 30 something children in the room to go and help this child with their situation. This is like unnerving to me that this is even something that's being allowed for and like taking like it's
man. I mean, it makes you not want to be a teacher. I mean, how much you getting paid, what you got to deal with, and then the people that's going to get the jobs to be teachers is like, I ain't doing all this, and then you losing out.
Right.
All right. I guess it's time for Evan to let us know what's going on in the world.
Ear Doctor, you don't have to sound so excited about it.
My bad, Evan. All right, it's that time, y'all. It's time for Evan.
Hype me up.
Hype me up. Affirmations.
No. I just wanted, just something slight. I wanted to first do some highlights from Paka's last ASPE, Sasha Core Popular Education. So I had a couple of points I wanted to highlight. And then I have a program I wanted to announce on behalf of Paka. But first, like I said, our topic this past week was the politics of heat waves and the impact of climate change on Black communities. So we were breaking down first, like what the thing is, what is climate change, what are heat waves, what is this stuff that we're experiencing? There's often a misunderstanding of climate versus weather, right? So for anyone who isn't, aware, right, climate change is the long-term change in the average weather patterns, right? Whereas weather is the short-term state of the atmosphere in a specific place. But in order to track climate, that's over like a long period of time, like 30 years or more, right? So just to be clear about like what that is, I think we're all kind of well-versed on like what is causing it, human activity. And really we could talk about industrialization, colonization, imperialism, right? All of these things we know these are impacting. People might not know about the urban heat effect, right? Which is really just the fact, urban heat island effect, which is just to say that like in a city in like, let's say DC, with all the concrete, all of the buildings, all of the actual machines that are working, creates a not artificial, but like an additional heat area that is hotter than like the surrounding area, right? So even if like all things considered, it's going to still be warmer in the city because of this urban heat island effect. So I wanted to highlight that as well, right, for people who might not be aware. Also, heat waves are a part of this, right? So we have not just the urban heat island effect, not just climate change, but on top of that, right, like these heat waves, right, that we've been experiencing, that we've been outside experiencing, and they're happening all over the world, right? I think was it maybe France, where they had like 1,000+ extra deaths because of the excess heat. So you know, we know that is also at play. But then when we talk about DC, right, it's important to know that like it is hotter, right, in the parts of the city where there are Black and brown people, right? The communities most vulnerable to heat-related illness and death were concentrated in wards 5, 7, and 8. Anyone who knows DC like knows that's where the Black people are, and these residents are more likely to be lower income, older, and living with chronic health conditions. So it's not just hotter where they are, right, but they have less medical assistance. They have poor access to health resources, right, that compounds that. They also don't have the same amount of shade, right? On the left, you see Chevy Chase neighborhood in Northwest DC, for anybody who's familiar, 59% shaded area, compared to total shade in Southeast DC's Anacostia is 26%, right? So we literally don't have the amount of shade in our neighborhoods, right, to protect us from this type of heat. And then how does this play into government priorities, right? Like, we have a Black Democratic government. Like, why can't we solve this issue? Why aren't they dealing with this? It's because it's not a priority, right? Even though on average, Ward 7 and 8 can be up to 10 to 16 degrees hotter than the rest of DC, right? And we have poor air quality. It's not a priority to take care of this, right? We have higher health disparities, more asthma visits, all cases of mortality are higher, right? Stroke, chronic, I mean, the list goes on, right? But the priorities are around capital, right? So we don't get, we have, there's a Woodlawn Cemetery that's close to the public. So green spaces are often close to public, right? And not available to us, right? And the investment that we get is, $500 million for a new jail in Ward 7, or $300 million to currently to change St. Elizabeth's old campus in Ward 8 into an ICE facility. That's the type of investment we get in our neighborhoods. Meanwhile, in Northwest, they get more funding for elementary schools, parks, rec centers, et cetera. But the land in the Southeast is for government use and political priorities, right? So it's really important to name. So those are the elements, right, that we wanted to call out, right? And then that all this ties in, as we've been talking about, Community Control DC, PACA does have a platform that we're putting forth, and this directly ties to Demand 8. Environmental decisions shall be made by the community, right? Again, as we said before, the issue is we don't have power over any of this. We don't have power to dictate how our city is planned, where the green space is, what we have access to in terms of healthy food and groceries, right? So this is the specific demand on CCDC that applies to the environment, right? We want to end environmental racism and place environmental and infrastructure decision-making under community control. Energy, water, broadband, sanitation, and related infrastructure shall be treated as public goods governed through binding community oversight. Privatization, speculative investment, and regressive rate structures must be prohibited, right? It's quite simple. No polluting facilities or hazardous infrastructure may be sited on Southeast DC without binding community approval, right? We have to be involved and we have to have control over this. So that is our, overall response. And I want to also name, related to this, right, that PACA is also launching a program called the Transit Solidarity Program. So this is a community-funded people's program toward free and accessible transportation. We know people in DC are struggling with higher fare rates on the metro and increased criminalization, right, and quote unquote fare evasion criminalization, right. So our response, right, is to take this issue out, right. This is Transit Solidarity is a mutual aid initiative of Pan-African Community Action, or PACA, that helps keep our neighbors moving by distributing donated and community-funded Smart Trip cards while organizing for a transportation system that serves people, not profit. And I know we're running short on time, so I will go just straight to here. Please take a look at this, right? You can make a financial donation, send it through Zelle, or and just write a note for PACA in the payment. And if you're in DC, you can drop these cards off at various locations like Busboys and Poets, also Sankofa, it's not listed here, but also the Black Workers and Wellness Center. So I can put some of this in the chat, but just want to highlight this program. And yeah, check out our social media. You'll be able to find it there as well. But I'll put a link in the chat.
All right. Renee, what you got coming up this weekend?
Listen, I'm super excited because folks remember a couple of weeks back I had my times all jacked up, and so I had to reschedule Dre to come on. And so Dre and Samantha are going to join on Saturday. I don't know if we really have a full-fledged topic. Dre's been on me about it's his fault literally that I watched one battle after another, and so we never actually had that full conversation. But I would love to dig in a little more on some of this media stuff that I think just some general thoughts about how we're really being just completely propagandized. Like I started watching a new series and I'm like, oof, this is some serious propaganda stuff. And I'm looking forward to it. Evan's typing though. I don't know if y'all know.
I was to mute when he's typing, but
I'm sorry. I forget every time.
It's all good.
All good.
I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be doing at 11 on Thursday, but come through. It's going to be a mix. It's going to be something to talk about. Big up to everybody that tuned in last Thursday as I talked about the 90s and talked about what was going on, and people were chiming in. My takeaway from this before we go is we might not be able to control everything that's going on in our environment outside and this, that, and the third. But what we can control, little things we can control, let's go ahead and take control of it when it comes to our health, if we can. When it comes to what else we talk about? Yeah, I forgot. But anyway, I'm ready to go. Yeah, let's take control of what we can and do that. I forget what I was about to say. That's what happens when you get older.
Join an organization so you can organize for power, so we can do all the things your doctor's talking about. That's what you forgot.
There we go.
There it is. We'll leave it at that. Thank you, Evan, for your younger mind. That is Evan. That is Renee Johnston. I'm the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in the Remix Morning Show, Black Liberation Media. Organize so we can rise, y'all. Peace out.
Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.